Hello, welcome everyone. It's Pat Mitchell here from TrickTrades, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to plot and use trend lines like a professional. So let's do it. Make sure to hit subscribe and the bell notification icon so you can be notified when I go live to answer your day trading related questions. So on Weight Watchers, this is a really good example of how to plot and use trend lines like a pro. Now, you got to make sure um, the more and more you get into trading, a lot of you are either long traders or short traders. I had a recent discussion with one of my top moderators, Noah, in at TrickTrades. He's an amazing guy, always willing to help. I talk to him almost every day, and we've been discussing. Well, we did discuss over the Christmas break and the New Year's break because Noah and I we're very similar in our trading. We have um, uh, mainly we're short bias traders, okay, and that's cost us a great deal in this market. I mean, why wait around all day for something to set up to the short side, right? So it's all about growth as a trader, right? So we discussed that, moving forward into this year, the new year 2018, we're going to try and just read the chart for what it is, okay? And trend lines can really help you with that. And some of my, actually, the best trades this year of mine have been long trades. So it just goes to show you that, you cannot have biases in day trading. If you do, you're going to miss out on a ton of opportunities. And that's really, I mean, that's no good, right? So let's get into it. And I'm going to show you how to use trend lines and how to plot trend lines properly. I use TC2000. I'll leave a link down in the description box below on how to receive $25 off on your first month with TC2000. It's very inexpensive charting, and to me they are this. It's the best charting platform out there. I like this way better than Thinkorswim. Um, I find TC2000's charts are way faster than TOS, so it's just a personal preference. But I love TC2000, by the way, and it's not just because I'm an affiliate. I do. I've been using them since day one. So for 6 years, I've been using TC2000, and I love it. Anyways, this really isn't a plug for TC2000. I know it sounds like it, but let's get into it here. So you always want to mark out your highs, okay? Now the highs, your morning highs, are going to be very key and very important. Now I love TC2000 how when you plot the trend line, it'll snap to it, right? So so now we have our morning trend. Okay, we got a nice downtrend. You could have easily shorted it with this stuff. This is a nice morning stuff candle, by the way, but that's a completely different lesson. Um, so it downtrends and it tests the 9 EMA, and it's a beautiful downtrend. So basically, once it breaks this trend, you can look to get out, right? So you could have captured a short, which would have been an easy, well over a point here, I think. Yeah, it's $1.50, and then to your exit, it would have been over a point. So beautiful, beautiful trade on that. Now we can start plotting once we get a couple data points. We can start plotting another trend line. Okay, so let's say you took the long trade on this. Once it kind of reclaimed this trend, you went long. So easily, another point, point and a half. And if you didn't catch it here, you could have caught it on the 50 EMA hold, reclaim and hold. I love using the 50 EMA. So using trend lines, it can really give you some patience, okay? And it can really like a lot of people, a lot of professionals will use trend lines. So it's almost like a technical indicator in some ways, and use it to your advantage, guys. I mean, This is just absolutely a really beautiful way of getting in and out of trades. Very low stress because you have an indicator that's going to tell you if it does this, I'll do that, and if uh, it does that, I'll do this, right? So, and what I mean by that is with this, let's say, okay, now with this downtrend, when it breaks this, I will do that, meaning I will cover my position. And onto the long side, once you're in, you can say, once it breaks this trend line, I'm going to get out. And you could have done that, right? So we got a trend down, we got a trend up, and this is another, especially if you're taking this type of a trade, and I'll show you this here. So you always want to mark out highs, and then you want to mark out some sort of secondary high. Now you could have even taken it up here, right? I wouldn't have plotted it like that, but I would definitely plot it somewhere in this neighborhood, right? So you can ride this trend literally all after or all morning, right? And once it breaks that trend line, you can get out. And you can see here it tested there, right? And it tested there. Now it'd be pretty hard to set up a trend, obviously, with no data. But even the trend from high down to this candle here is intact, and it's the full trend, and it held that all morning. I know that's kind of hard to see, but it's amazing how well these trend lines work. And then it tested here, and it got rejected because right at the trend line is also the 50 EMA, which is something I kind of want to point out. Do you guys see how well this trend line works with the 50 EMA? Do you see how they're basically the same? That's what moving averages are. They're basically trend lines. They're moving trend lines, okay? And think of them in that way. So once it broke this trend line to the upside, you would have covered, because obviously here it's a higher low, so you should have covered, right? Once it broke the trend, and especially the 50 EMA, get out, and then you could have taken it long again, right? And mark this out, right? Follows that trend, and then once it breaks, you can get out. So do you see how you can go back and forth with these trend lines, right? Like, it's just, and the reason why they work so well is because you always need to use some sort of indicators or trend lines or whatever you're going to use. You need to make sure that it's something that the majority of traders use. That's why there's only certain moving averages that I use, and I use trend lines, because those are the indicators that the majority of professional day traders and even institutional traders will use, okay? So remember that, guys. Don't be using some off-the-wall, crazy technical indicator like, look, and I've pointed this out before, look at all these goddamn things, right? Don't waste your time with them, guys. Like you'll see these guys that use that parabolic SAR, those little balls that you see. It's like, why, man? You tell me you can't tell when the trend's changing, right? Not everybody uses that stuff, guys. You got to make sure to use technical indicators that everybody uses, because that's all of this. These candles are basically it translates to emotion, right? So you just gotta make sure that you use stuff that everybody uses. All right. Um, don't use some off the wall cockamamie um, technical indicator that's out there. A lot of this stuff is just, I mean, it's like, nobody uses it. So why would you use it? The more trader, the more volume, the more eyes. Period. The more follow through. Okay. And this is all stuff that I teach at TrickTrades.com. I think you guys should really come and take a look. I know you won't be disappointed. Anyone that ever comes into the room, they're extremely happy. In fact, they're pissed off that they didn't find us earlier. So help me spread the word, guys. We got a great room and a great service. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to spread the word. Help us out. Adios.